Hello, in this video I'm going to teach about multiplication of complex numbers. Multiplication of complex numbers. So when you're given a plus b I, so this is a complex number, then actually a complex number is formed by joining a real part and an imaginary part. So these areas, let me just label them. Label them so that at least, so the A, this is called the real part, and then this is imaginary. So complex numbers is a combination of real plus imaginary. So you can say complex equals to real plus imaginary. So there are normally two areas of a complex number. So let me delete. So as I said, when given a complex number in the form of a plus bi multiplied by a, perhaps at the same number, bi again. So we both know that, as I said, this is the imaginary part, this is the real part. So the thing with the multiplication is you open brackets the normal way. So that is a square, that is a times a, then a times bi, that is abi, added to a times bi, that is abi, then plus bi times bi, that is b squared I squared. Now the thing with complex numbers is that I squared equals to 1, equals to -1, because the square root of -1 is given by I. So now we proceed and say, so we collect like terms, of course. Let me collect like terms. So collect like terms gives this is a squared, then plus abi plus abi, that is 2abi, then so this is -1, so -1 times b squared, that is minus b squared. So that is the rule in multiplication. So we'll do an example. We'll do about 5-6 examples. So let me do an example. Let me clear this. So example, so when given 3 minus 2i multiplied by 4 plus 5i. So solution. So real parts multiply with the real parts, of course, that's the first thing. Of course, I mean, we open brackets the normal way. So 3 times 4, that is 12. 3 times 5i, that is plus 15i. As I said, real parts multiply with the real parts, so 3 multiplies by 5, not I. Then minus 2 times 4, that is 8, so 8i. Then minus -2 times, -2i times 5i, that is minus 10i squared. So again, split this. Yeah, so we get this is 12, so 12, then 15i minus 8i, that is plus 7i, then -10 times, now we said I squared is what? Same as -1, so this is minus 10 times -1. This is 12 plus 7i minus to negative 10. So this is 12 plus 7i plus 10. Then we collect like terms. 12 plus 10, that is 22, plus 7i. Always ensure that your equation is in the form of a plus bi. So if you're told to give the values of a and b, a is 22, b is 7. So you've solved that part. That is how you do multiplication. Let's do another example. But before that, let me clear. So let me do another example and say, if you've been given 2 plus 5i multiplied by 4 minus 3i. Let me clear this part. So how do you solve this? So as I said, so 2 goes with 4, that is 8, plus 2 times negative 3i, so it's negative 6i, then plus 5i times 4, that is 20i, then 5i times negative 3i is minus 15i squared. Sorry, let me just clear this. So 15i squared. So next is this is 8 minus 6i plus 20i, then minus 15 times negative 1, because as I said, I squared is negative 1. So we proceed and say this is 8 minus, so negative 14, I mean negative 6i plus 20i, that is positive 14, so plus 14i, and then negative multiplied by negative 15, that is positive 15. So this is 8 and 15, that is 23, plus 14i. So this is the solution to the question. I will do another example still. Let me just clear this. We have been given, we have I multiplied by 2 minus 3i. So open bracket, solution. We need to change this into something different. We can get this as red. So this is I multiplied by 2, that is 2i, minus 3i squared. This is 2i minus 3 into negative 1. This is 2i minus of actually positive 3, which implies the final answer is 3 plus 2i. This is a very simple one. So you always get such simple example. The only thing you need to remember is that the key point that you need to remember is that I squared equals to negative 1. So whenever you get a negative 1, you solve that. So that is how you do multiplication of complex numbers. We can still do another example, the final example. Let's clear this. Yeah, so another example. This is 2 plus 4i multiplied by 3 plus 5i. You feel free to pause the video, do the example, and see if you'll get the same answer as mine. Let's just clear this first. Okay. So now we solve it. So solution. So 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 5i, that is 10, so plus 10i. 4 times 3, that is plus 12i. Then 4i times 5i, that is plus 20i squared. As usual, this is negative 1. This becomes 6 plus 10 plus 12, that is 22i. Then plus 20 times negative 1. This is simple. This is 6 plus 22i. Then minus 20. So 6 minus 20, that is negative 14. Plus 22i. This is the solution. This is how you have solved it. Multiplication is not hard, it's very easy. Let me do another example, perhaps just to something with the negative, confusing negatives. Let me do this one. this concept has to stick in your head. So let's see. So we have negative 8 plus 10i multiplied by 3 plus 8. Sorry, let me just remove this. So plus root 64, negative root 64. Or let me make it better. Let it look better. So plus negative 64. Then perhaps they can give you also let me change this one also as well. You can get something better, so that at least we kind of test ourselves. Negative 100. So you've been told to solve this question and you're not sure what to do. So the first thing you need to think of is this. So the first principle is that, remember, the square root of negative 1 is I. So that implies, this implies that root negative 64 can be the same as root of negative 1 times 64, isn't it? But so that we make this thing better, it can be the same as root negative 1 times 64, which simply means that this is I times, okay, actually this is also root, sorry, so this is also root I times 8. So we split that and say, so we have that, so that is I times 8, this is 8i, so this is 8i. Now still the same thing, root of negative 100 can be the same as root of negative 1 times root of 100. This is the same as root of negative 1, this is I, then multiplied by root 100 is 10, so this is 10i. So back now we substitute back to the original equation to have negative 8 plus 10i multiplied by 3 plus 8i. So now our solving starts here. So therefore, now that we've simplified the question to be something we are familiar with, let's go straight into it and say this gives us, so this is negative 8 times 3, that is negative 24. Negative 8 times 8i, that is negative 64i. 10i times 3, that is positive 30i. Then 10i times 8i, that is positive 8i, but now squared. So this is negative 24, negative 64i plus 30i, that is minus 34i, that is negative 34i, and then plus 8 times negative 1. Yeah, is negative 24 minus 34i minus 80. So this is negative 24 minus 80, that is negative 1 of 4, then minus 34i, and this is a solution to our question. So that is it. We can now I'll just put an example here, a question that you can solve on your end. Let me just clear this, but so far so good. This is what we can do with multiplication. So now once you're done with reviewing the videos, please solve the following. So number 1, try solving I1 plus 3i multiplied by 2 plus I. Then number 2, try solving we can use 2 plus 6I multiplied by -1 minus 2I. So this is your assignment. Do it and let me know answers on the comment section, and then I'll provide mine as well, and see if perhaps you can even also put your work on the comment section. I think how you did it, maybe explain a bit, and if you're stuck, let me know. So this is your assignment. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share and like, and let's meet in my next video on division of complex numbers.